Hey guys, you're watching Halborn Flash Videos. I'm Arabdha, and today it's an absolute pleasure to welcome Marcin from Redstone to this video. So, Marcin, I have known you from, I don't know, 2022 ETH Warsaw or probably somewhere around that. Definitely seen your team around. But for our audience, please feel free to introduce yourself a little bit and then we'll take it from there.
Hi everyone, Marcin over here, co-founder of RedStone Oracles. I've been in the space since 2017. Wrote my bachelor thesis about blockchain and Bitcoin back in the days. Then worked in a couple of startups, also Google Cloud, and since late 2020, together with Jacob Wojciechowski, we grow Redstone as one of the leading oracles in the space.
Marcin, you have been a co-founder and CEO of Redstone for a while as well. How has the founding journey been, and why did you go about starting Redstone in the first place?
It's been crazy, to be honest, but in a positive sense. So we started in late 2020 in our Weave incubation program. We kicked off Redstone for the reason that builders couldn't reach their potential with Oracle solutions that were present at the time. Chainlink is naturally like the biggest player on the market, but they do not satisfy all of the needs of the builders. So there needs to be diversity and more specialization on specific aspects. And throughout our journey, we learned a lot of lessons. In the beginning, we were just offering pull Oracle. Now we are doing both pull and push, giving the developers like the flexibility of choosing the one that they like the most. Initially, we were available only on Ethereum virtual machine compatible networks. Right now, we are supporting many non-EVM compatible ones like Ton, Starknet, Fuel, Radix, and soon a couple of others, Alpha soon. And throughout the journey, we also learned that too often companies focus a lot about the PR and marketing strongly, leaving the technology behind at one point just to chase the narratives. And with Redstone, we've always been builders first. Like our slogan is by builders for builders. And this is something that we strive for in the long term. That's the reason majority of our team members are engineers, and we strive for technical excellence as the first priority.
That's excellent. I mean, I've seen you guys grow for a while. You're on the latest I saw was like 50 plus chains, and you're but working with 100 plus companies and clients, which is massive, starting from the start and coming up to here. So I'll take a few steps backward really and ask you, what are oracles very simply, and why are they very important in the broader DeFi vision over here?
Of course, oracles deliver data, and they deliver various types of data. It can be weather data, it can be market data, it can be user data. But right now, the biggest use case, I would say 95% or even more, is the DeFi. And majority of the information delivered is about the price feeds of assets, so Bitcoin, Ethereum, and others. And the reason oracles are tremendously important for DeFi and blockchain space in general is because they connect the outside data to a specific blockchain ecosystem for smart contract execution. And as we know, smart contracts are autonomous. If you feed them specific information that trigger the execution, they are just going to execute. So if you deliver the price of Bitcoin that is at 100,000, whereas it trades at, I don't know, 200,000, then it's going to trigger a cascade of liquidations or other aspects that can be very harmful for the DeFi users themselves. So number one thing about oracles is reliability. That's the reason we always have been very serious about security, working with solid partners like Halborn on the way, making sure we don't do any mistake while we serve the builders with new use cases and innovation, right? So in short, oracles are important for the security of the whole system, and users should matter about the oracles that is used in a protocol, because it doesn't matter if it works for a week, 2 months, or 1 year. It should work entirely, like because a flash problem with an oracle can be disastrous in its consequences to a user himself.
Got it. So apart from buy builders and for builders, what really sets Redstone apart from the rest of the competition?
Sure, there are a couple of aspects. The major one is the modular architecture. So from the very beginning, when we started Redstone in 2020, we knew that DeFi and blockchain ecosystem will evolve at a very high pace. So we try to create a flow that is easy to tweak as we get availability of new technologies on the way. That's the reason we divided our architecture into 4 modules. And an example right now in one of the modules, like data aggregation, we are introducing AVS on top of EigenLayer, so to tap into the restate security, which was not available back in 2020 and 21 when we were designing that particular module. It just shows that whenever there is new technology available that's going to optimize the flow, we are fairly capable of introducing that, not needing to rebuild the whole infrastructure from the beginning. And this is how Chainlink predominantly was designed back in 2018, when there was only like Ethereum, like one chain, and a couple of dApps using it. As we grow, we need to have infra that is scalable and can adjust to the needs and capabilities that are present in the market. The second thing is we offer both the push and the pull model. Chainlink, the biggest player, offers the push one. PIF is another player that is pretty popular and offers the pull one. And we decided to deliberately deliver both of them, maintain and expand, because we want to give users the flexibility of choice. And number 3 reason is we specialize in yield-bearing assets. Liquid staking tokens, liquid restaking tokens, yield-bearing stable coins. Right now, Bitcoin liquid staking, such as Lombard on top of Babylon, Solve, Pump BTC, Lorenzo. We specialize with any asset that generates yield because pricing those assets is not so trivial. It requires a bit of a deeper understanding of the mechanism and also what are the black swan event possibilities on the market and how the Oracle should behave if they happen.
That sounds pretty exciting, and I see you guys coming up with a lot of integrations very recently as well. You guys say on your material as well on the site and beyond that scalability, reliability, adaptability is kind of your motto. So what are some accomplishments you have had this year and what's coming up for RedStone?
This year was a breakthrough for us. So in 2024, RedStone was the fastest growing Oracle in the market by number of clients and also total value secured. So cumulative amount of dollars that we protect as an Oracle. A couple of notable clients that started using us are Pendle, Morpho, Venus, Sommelier back early in the day, but also a lot of asset issuers. So we were the enabler, the first Oracle to support EtherFi, Ethena, Renzo, Puffer, Lombard. So many of those asset issuers that create yield for the users and expand the DeFi ecosystem as a whole. We also launched on a couple of networks that are not supported by other oracles like Bitcoin L2s, Bob, Merlin Chain, soon Citra, and B Squared. And as we progress, we also work very closely with stack providers. So as mentioned earlier, many of the oracles are non-scalable in the sense of supporting many networks. And we are a perfect partner for example, OP Stack, Orbit Stack from Arbitrum, Hyperchains from ZK Stack, and many other solutions that allow for easy deployment of new app chains for specific use cases, may it be DeFi, but also user application and other ecosystems. So this scalability allows us to be a very good partner for chains like Unichain that decided to choose RedStone as the Oracle launch partner, Inc., which is L2 from Kraken, which also decided to go with RedStone as the comprehensive Oracle solution.
Those are some really notable and really impressive ones. So now that you're handling so many integrations partners and so much TVL, I have to ask you, what's your internal security strategy?
Should I say it? Because then you can potentially like attack it. Now, like the whole security framework is oversaw by Jacob, who used to be smart contract auditor himself in Open Zeppelin and then freelance architect. So he has seen many things during DeFi Summer 2020 and even before. Interestingly, back in 20, I believe 16 or 17, he won one of the early hackathons from Ethereum. So he has been in the trenches of development and security for a very long time. Whenever we hire new developers, we give them a period where we tentatively do small obstacles in terms of like security aspects to ensure that they are following all the best practices when it comes to key management and other aspects that sometimes recently, majority of the attacks that I've seen were actually social engineering. So with oracles, it's also increasingly important that not only the code itself is very solid, but also the keys or accesses are not leaked, or people are not like fooled that someone is, like trying to mimic behavior of a teammate and asking for like a quick fix or something that can basically be pretty dangerous for the protocol itself. In the whole of the spectrum, we also work with security partners. One of them is, of course, like Halborn, and we make sure that whenever we create like a bigger update or integrate a new chain, like for example, recently Fuel or Radix, we always audit the full end-to-end delivery, so no glitches might occur or no hacks are possible for potential bad actors.
Amazing. And we are talking about a partnership here. So why go with an external audit partner like Halborn, and how has the experience been thus far?
Well, we like you guys. Isn't it that enough?
That's great to know.
No, I would say one thing is, of course, like the experience. Halborn has been known as a company that worked with many of layer ones, but also like bridges, oracles, and other partners. So the depth of the knowledge is for sure of a big matter. Another one is just being responsive to all the feedback that we are asking for and getting. So audit is many times not just like, hey, we created the code, here it is, but it's like a process of like back and forth, like sharing feedback and what are the best practices. And then once implemented, any suggestions from an auditor, that it can be also re-audited once again and ensure that all the fixes are according to the plan and they didn't introduce the new breaking points because it can also like happen. Last but not least, I really appreciate Halborn's presence in the DeFi and blockchain space. So you're organizing a lot of events, working closely with many of the partners. So besides an audit, there is also like a big benefit of working with you guys at a larger scale, I would say, in terms of like DeFi presence.
That's great to know. And it's always amazing having you guys with us on board and a lot of these activations as well. All right. So with that, we'll come to the end of this flash video for today. Thank you so much again for joining us on this flash video and looking forward to more RedStone updates.
Thank you very much, Arabdha, and it was fun to have you over here. Cheers.